We are 1 week away from creating better investors. Folks, if you've been following Dan Byrne and our discussions every Sunday, you know that he's been teaching me how to be a better investor. He has graciously offered up 3 hours of his time next Sunday. What would it be? 8 to 11 a.m., July 16th. That is Pacific time, to go through risk management, risk calculator, sizing, just a whole plethora of things. And you really need to be a part of it. It is a paid event, so we keep out the riffraff. It's only $47. You will clearly make this up in a single trade. And most importantly, Dan, we are going to give the video away for free to anybody that signs up for the course. So if you come and can't stay for the whole thing, you get the video. You buy the course but can't come, you get the video.
Is that like free food on a cruise ship?
Exactly. It's like free food on a cruise ship. It's in some, the cost is in somewhere else. So there you go.
It's in the $47. And by the way,
exactly.
I think even riffraff could afford $47.
They probably could. Even the riffraff could be better traders. Well, why don't you do me a favor and once again tell them what you're going to do? Because again, folks, all of us could be better. I've admitted many times that I am a horrible stock market investor. Dan has improved for me, and actually had some successful trades in the last 12 months thanks to him. So what are we going to go over?
Can you see my screen?
I can.
All right, so this is the agenda. The first section, section 1, is Technical Analysis 101. And those are the topics. I'm going to go through that pretty quickly. So I'm going to touch on what most of these mean. And then what I'm going to do once I kind of lay the foundation with this, and this isn't going to take very long, actually. But once I lay the foundation, I'm actually going to step through a 1-year chart for Netflix. Mm-hmm. Actually applying some of these concepts. Right. And I'm going to do it in a real-time approach. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty easy when you look at a whole 1-year chart. You can say, oh, that's where resistance is. Oh, that's where support is. Right. But it's not as easy when you're in it day to day.
Well, that's going to be so good.
So I'm going to step through it just like we are in it day to day, one day at a time, and we'll identify support and resistance as we go through.
Okay.
So that's the foundational stuff. And then the section 2, the key part of that is the risk management calculator. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk about risk management, why it's important, and then show the calculator that I created to help you to size your positions and not get into trouble and make sure that no one trade blows up your account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just want to highlight $47. Section 1 by itself is worth that. Section 2 by itself is worth it. I mean, your risk management, go back and watch your playlist, how you were helping me, over a year ago, just understanding risk management, right? As somebody who has an econ degree and an MBA and comfortable with numbers, I thought it was enough just to feel good about a stock. Your risk management, risk calculator, where to put your stops in, how to size positions was game changing for me. And you're going to go over that with folks in this, 3-hour, $47 class. Just wow.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to give everyone a way to get that calculator.
Ooh.
And then I'll quickly touch on the platforms that I use: Stock Charts, SpectraVest, Earnings Beats, also Stock Traders Almanac, which I use. I'll put that in there as well. Again, that's going to be not any in detail on those. It'll just be a high level kind of showing how I use it, mm-hmm. and maybe some of the tricks, shortcuts, things like that. And then the last hour or more, and I actually think it will be more, depending on, it's really up to the people that mm-hmm. dial in.
Right.
I think we're going to have at least an hour and probably more than an hour to just open it up to everybody's questions.
That's going to be awesome. Again, these sessions,
they can give me symbols, and I can, look at different ones and give my opinion on the chart, explain what the chart looks like, and maybe help people mm-hmm. interpret it better. The special announcement I actually moved up to before the open forum, and I want to touch on that right now also.
Sure, go for
it. So this is going to be a pre-launch announcement. Let's put it that way.
Pre-launch, I like it.
Pre-launch announcement. So yesterday when I sent my newsletter is getting bigger, and it's mm-hmm. getting more content in it.
Yep.
It's a struggle for email to accommodate it, basically. Mm-hmm. So I started getting notes last night from people again this weekend saying, I didn't get the newsletter. Where is it? I checked my spam. So I decided for the second, because I have to split it into 2 batches, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. So I decided for the second one that I would actually, instead of sending the email like I normally do, I would just send the PDF and this link to my new website.
Oh, nice. You are announcing it. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a pre-launch announcement. Pre-launch because I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it. I'm going to do that next week, but I'm going to show a little bit of it. But folks that get today's email, and I'm going to resend the first batch. I'll do that tomorrow. You'll have this link, and that's how the newsletter will be delivered after next week's session on the 16th.
Okay.
It will be delivered. It will be delivered through the website.
That's awesome.
No longer in an email or a PDF file.
Yeah, I was always amazed that you were able to put this together. Clearly, it became a template for you. But as your legend is grown, and as you have been right so often, it makes sense that your newsletter has grown and grown. So, I knew this was coming. You probably deep in your heart knew it was coming, and now you have a website, just one place, and all you have to do is send a URL, and people can have it. So that's pretty cool.
Here's what it looks like.
Oh, wow.
That's the front page.
That's funny. You showed me an early version last week. This is way different. I like it.
Yeah, way different. I even have my own logo now, which I created.
Of course you did. I like it.
So this is just an image of what it looks like. Some people tried to access it with the mobile, and it is not enabled for mobile right now.
Okay.
So it's a little cumbersome, let's say. I mean, everything's there, but it's not as easy to navigate. Much better on a laptop or a PC.
Okay.
But if you do want to use the mobile just to get the newsletter, it's instead of trying to navigate this first page that you come to, just use the navigation bars down here.
Okay.
And that will give you all the pages in the newsletter.
Got it.
And the first one at the top is this week's newsletter.
Perfect.
So when you click on that, it will take you to the newsletter. So I'll show you basically what the site, this is a live site.
Okay.
So there's 3 levels. So what this looks like is there's a disclaimer, there's some testimonials, really good testimonials, and I'm still getting more, so I might add to this.
Nice.
This one here, this guy talked about the risk calculator. Since following this methodology using the risk calculator, my trading returns have increased from 8 to 20%, which is great. This will be always on the front page.
Right. This
is a 33-year secular market. So you can see where we are and whether we are still in a secular bull, which we are. That will always be there. These are links to the pages. There's multiple ways you can get to those. And then this is the subscription. So if you just want the newsletter, it's free.
Yep.
You click there, it will ask you for your email, but it will not ask you for a credit.
Right.
Yeah, it will not ask you for a credit card. So you just enter an email. We also do not share emails, so we don't sell them or share them. And what you'll get with the free one is the current week newsletter and the risk calculator demo. Cool. So you can see what the risk calculator will actually do. So that will be this tab right here. When you log in, you can use Google or you can use an email if you want to, either one. And then that will just take you to the free pieces to get you in. Hang on one second.
Yeah, no problem. That's what happens when you do these live.
Yeah, I know. So this is the live site. So now this is the newsletter. So you just click this and you get the PDF for this week.
Perfect.
7/7.
Much better.
All right.
Much
also,
better. Yep.
Yeah, it's getting a lot better. Even without registering your email, you can use this site even without giving an email. You can't get the newsletter,
right? But
you can get the front page and you can get the books page. So these are all the book recommendations that I've usually had at the bottom of my email.
Oh, I like it.
So they're all here and they're all linked to Amazon. So if you want one, just click on it and it takes you straight to Amazon. You can browse Amazon, whatever you want, but you can buy these books straight from there. If you, without registering an email, you can just use the front page. And I've got 4 charts set up, daily charts. So if you want to look at the S&P and see what it's doing, it'll take you
Oh,
to an S&P.
wow. Look at you.
All right. So there's the S&P right there. And you can do the same with the NASDAQ. And I put some annotations in of where support and resistance are. We'll talk about this in the next session and where I think the market's headed.
Yep.
But that doesn't require anything. Now, to get the other pieces, if you want to go to all newsletters, then you would need a subscription.
Okay.
So all newsletters and the subscriptions are either $15 per month. So there's all of the archive newsletters. Here's this week's. If you want to go back and look at the previous ones, they're all there.
Nice.
So it's $15 a month or $99 for a year. So you can pay $15, and after 1 year, you paid $180, or you can pay a little bit more than half of that.
I like
$99. You get all of these things. The one thing you don't get with the monthly one is the risk calculator itself. So there's the download for the risk calculator. You have to be an annual member to get that.
Makes sense.
All right. And then I've got a page for charts, and I'll go through these a little more detail next week. But I actually might use this today in our conversation in the next session.
Okay.
I've got this little gauge for the NASDAQ up here that's live. So as the market is open, this gauge will tell you where it's at.
Oh, very cool.
You can go to chart lists and scans. And this, by the way, right here, this, even if you didn't consider the risk calculator, which I think the risk calculator by itself is worth $99. But even if you didn't consider that, this one also shows a gauge for the S&P. Down here, I have my best of the best chart list that I do every week. There's about 200 to 300 different names in here based on fundamentals. I have my standard default using Netflix as the example. This is my standard for stock charts. So if you wanted to use what I use for stock charts, you just bring that up and you just click here, set as default. And that becomes your default chart list. And I've got one for 3-year. I've got one for Tom Bowley's standard format. For long-term traders, there's a 200-day moving average over 2 years. So you can watch the 200-day and wait till it goes above it, buy it right here, and just stay in it as long as it's above the 200-day. And again, all of these, once you've downloaded them, you can just save them to your own stock charts platform. And then relative strength, which is one of the most important ones. You can see the relative strength, sector versus S&P, industry versus sector, symbol, and Netflix in this case versus its peer group, etc. All these styles, once you click on those and download it, you can then simply add a new one and save it as your own style. And I'll go over that in more detail next week.
Okay.
Then I have stock scans that I use. So different ways that I scan for good candidates using this best of the best chart list, both in stock charts as well as in VectorBest. So you have all those right there for you. And then the risk calculator demo, we'll step you through a demo. And then up here in the upper left of the site is a harbor tour of the site itself, sort of what I'm doing right now.
Nice.
Less than 15 minutes. It's just a harbor tour of all these different pages and what they have. So if you want to sign up for a subscription, before you do that, you want to see what's out there, you can just click there and it will take you through it.
Perfect.
So that's it. So I'll talk about that in more detail next week, but I wanted to introduce it today because I actually sent it out to people in place of the newsletter, the email newsletter today. Yeah. And I asked people to let me know what they think. And so far, the responses I've been getting is the website looks great.
Nice. Well, you spent a lot of time on it. Again, folks, $47 a week away from today. We'll be going from 8 to 11. You get the video after, you can rewatch it. I've worked with Dan for almost 20 years. He is going to share an unbelievable amount of information. You will be full when you are done, and you will likely miss something. That's why the video after the fact is going to be valuable. Many of you will be watching this video
So far
weeks before.
I have 189 slides. So
You know how anti slides I are, but I am. But this is just the right thing to do, given how you're going to walk people through a
that's why I
timeline.
said that. I'm just kidding, by the way.
Oh God, thank goodness. Oh, I almost had a heart attack. Oh, but folks, $47. You got to be there. Buy it today. I'll put the link below. And Dan will talk about CPI, inflation, and jobs in our next video. Thank you
Sounds
so
great.
much.
Thanks.